What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of You Heard What I Said podcast. We here, we back. I'm here with my man, Keon. What's going on?
What's up? Everything is everything, Miss Lauren Hill.
Right.
Everything is everything.
I
Everything is
saw her
good.
in
How are you?
concert too.
Yeah,
Good, yeah.
you
She was
told me
real
this
good.
year, right?
Yeah, it was this year. Was it
Uh,
this year? Yeah, I think it was this year.
I think
It was
so.
recent.
Yeah, yeah. We in June
Yeah.
2025.
I know, right? I
This is what the 6th month.
know.
So,
The time is going so fast. It's like really almost half the year's gone. Yeah,
I
it's
know.
crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, it was good. What was I gonna say? Oh, that's what I was gonna say, y'all. Make sure that y'all like, share, subscribe, ring that bell, do all that good stuff.
Yeah,
Exactly. We appreciate you all support.
sure.
Yeah, so before we get started, because there's a couple of things that I saw like posted on Instagram, and I was like, let's talk about it. So let's take a sip. Got my drink right here. What about you?
I
Nothing
got, I got,
fancy today.
I got a little coffee here.
Oh, okay. You doing coffee? I'm doing like
Yeah,
a little.
with the little something in here. So yeah, on our little trip, this was like the drink of choice
Oh,
after the third day or so. I guess it was well. This here is my version of a Colorado Bulldog, I believe is what it's called.
never
Where
heard of it.
it's Kahlua
Okay.
with vodka and
Mm-hmm.
coffee. I guess. I mean, I
Mm-hmm.
made mine with coffee and soda pop.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
So wherever you are in the world, soda pop, and put a little cola in it, and on ice and stir it up. It is,
Well,
a little coffee
cheers.
liqueur. Cheers to you. And let me
That's
open up the top.
different.
It's different, but damn it, it's high in calories, man.
I've never been like a coffee drinker, so it's not something that I would try, but sounds interesting.
It goes down smooth and it is delicious.
Mm-hmm.
As a, it's sweet but strong.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Well, look, let's get into it. And the first topic that I saw, there was a husband and wife couple, and she was like, laying all on her hubby, and like the caption was, and this isn't it's not a quoted caption, I'm just going off of memory, but it had to say with, I don't mind sharing my husband because I want all the ladies out here to know or to experience what it's like to have a good man. And so when you like see that caption, you like, oh, we just out here sharing husbands now. Like, we all cool with that? Like, it was weird. And then I kind of listened to like the little brief, message or whatever that she had behind it, where she was saying, every woman should know what it's like for a man to open your door, or what I'm saying, if you drop something or whatever, he'll pick it up for you, or what I'm saying, to say hi, or you look beautiful today, or little chivalry type things. So look, when I first read that caption, I'm like, oh no, that's not what we doing. You like, how old are we? Were we just out here? And when you see that, you automatically assume that someone is talking about sexually. Or at least that's what my mind went.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, so you just cool with that? You just gonna let the world know that you cool with that? But like I said, once you started listening to her, she was definitely referring to men being chivalrous. So and that I can see, and that I'm okay with. I'm okay with my man, like, say we're like today, I went to the gym with my guy friend, and we're walking up to the door, and there's another young lady. I don't mind you holding the door. You know what I'm saying? Like, for both of us, I mean, there's nothing going on between us. We're just friends. But like, if we were dating, like, yeah, hold the door. Like, be a gentleman. I'm okay with that. If they drop something, I'm okay with you. You know what I'm saying? Picking it up or anything. But when it comes to other things, no, I'm not sharing anybody sexually. It's so weird because it's like I'm kind of a natural flirt. So sometimes I might not think of it like that. I might just think, oh, I'm just being friendly and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. And I'm not sure how I would feel like if I was in a guy and he's you know what I'm saying, doing the same thing.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, as long as we both have a respect level, and I mean, I'm assuming, if I'm dating somebody, I should know who he is beforehand to know, like, oh, okay, this is his personality, this is him. There's no disrespect or anything like that. So, how do you feel about the situation?
Yeah. Well, first, going back to like when I first saw the caption without reading
Uh
it,
huh.
I
Yes.
thought it was like all of the above action.
Right.
And
Right.
honestly, when I saw that, just from life,
Mm-hmm.
not my life,
Right.
but just from watching and seeing things and
Mm-hmm.
celebrities and how they get down and stuff. I'm just like, hey man, to each his own,
That part.
because I don't know because I'm not with them, but I know
Mm-hmm.
I just read about a lot of celebrities they get down like that, and they
Mm-hmm.
have the open relationship. And
Mm-hmm.
and when I saw you about a year ago or 6 months ago, so
Mm-hmm.
we had some conversations
Mm-hmm.
about various types of things that goes on in real life that we like. Oh, that really goes on, So it's
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
so I ain't mad at them if
Mm.
they agreed to if it was sexual and
Yeah.
they agreed to it. By all means, I'm not a
Mm-hmm.
part of it. That's not my life. And go enjoy
Yeah.
yourself. But
Right.
when I did realize it was more of courtesy and
Mm-hmm.
kind of flirtatious, but not flirtatious,
Right. Yeah.
I'm okay with that as long as they both are strong individuals and have like no jealousy involved. Because if there's like you said,
Mm-hmm.
if there's some jealousy, like for me, if my wife goes out and starts complimenting all these dudes and stuff when I'm around, I'm like, babe, get your ass in this time. Let's talk for a sec. Yeah, this that's just who I am.
Right. Right.
And I'm not gonna out of respect, I'm not gonna do that either.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
However, I do open doors and hold doors for women when I'm with my wife. That's
Yeah.
me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think twice about it. I do
Yeah.
it, and she doesn't say nothing. She doesn't think nothing as far as I know. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, you're supposed to.
Right.
If something falls, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, it all depends on what it is, or whatever. But like when if we're together at a store and there's someone, whether if attractive or whatever, and she like you can tell she, let's say, short and trying to read something, I
Right.
just automatically, hey, can I be of assistance? So you got it, you good,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and I, that's just me, and
Yeah.
it's not a I'm not like I'm trying to, get a number or try to be like, hey, there's a. I just heard this this song talking about doing something in Burger King bathroom. You want to, no, I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So I'm cool with that, and
Mm-hmm.
they have love for each other. I mean, Dude was in her lap and just quiet, and she's doing
Yeah.
all the talking and everything like that. So
Mm-hmm.
they're good with that, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully it's vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm okay with it as long as I know it's there's as long as it doesn't overstep that boundary of flirtatious where you start
Right.
thinking twice, like, okay, so what do you do when I'm not around? If it
Exactly.
doesn't get to that point, I'm all for courtesy. I'm all for opening doors. I'm all for
Mm-hmm.
assistance. I'm all for even I do the same thing now. We're always I compliment people, women. Whether
Mm-hmm.
if they got
Mm-hmm.
uh I'm always trying to think of one little thing to compliment about, whether it's the
Mm-hmm.
color of their glasses
Mm-hmm.
or a lot of times nowadays, some of the first things you see are the nails.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'm not
Yeah.
about
Mine
to.
not done, so I'm not showing my hands.
No, I'm not. I just remember a previous conversation we were talking about something above the eyes. I'm
Oh,
not talking
okay.
about. I'm not talking about the lashes or anything. I'm talking about. I'm talking. You know, I'm talking about the nails. If someone has a good
Right.
nail, and that's
Mm-hmm.
just. I'm not trying to get your number just because I say I like your nails or whatever. So
Yeah.
it's just natural stuff. But as long as she's cool with it, as long as I'm cool with it, and we know that we're not overstepping boundaries, and it's
Right.
kind of, we don't even have to have a conversation about it. But if it's understood, like, okay, this is how my man is, this is how
Yeah.
I am. It's not flirtatious. It's just how we are. then it's all
Mm-hmm.
good, man. But
Right.
if something does happen, and I'm like, hey, babe, you know, we may need to kind of take a step back a little bit because that kind of that's kind of borderline of me thinking like something's up. If
Mm-hmm.
if we are open to where we have that conversation, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean nothing, no harm, whatever,"
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden now she doesn't do it again, then we're good. As long as we have the
Mm-hmm.
communication where if something that's said or done and it feels kind of like it could be an issue in the future, I'll
Mm-hmm.
address it or whatever, and then we'll kind of knock it out right then and there. But it's all good for that. I mean, shit, we're human. We can't just be confined to just you gotta enjoy life,
Yeah.
but just
Yeah.
to a certain level out of respect to your woman or your man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. I mean, sometimes you definitely don't want to start opening up doors because you don't know where they're going to lead to. So you definitely have to be a little mindful of that. And I don't want her to be out here thinking that, like her man is the only good man. Like there aren't others out here who do the same things, or like these women are just out here being deprived of, you know what I'm saying? A
what
nice, good
what did she
life.
say? Yeah, she said so. What did she say? She did she say something about not she doesn't mind sharing? What did she say or something?
Yeah, I would have to go back to like
Yeah.
the post to okay, let me see if I can find it real quick. So I could tell you exactly what she said. Well, at least what the caption was. The
Well,
caption,
yeah, go ahead.
yeah, the caption was listen, woman shares her husband willingly because she wants others to experience what a great man he is.
Okay, yeah.
So,
So
yeah.
yeah, and
Mhm.
so I mean, opening doors, compliments,
Mhm.
that's all good, and other
Yeah.
people should recognize that. So I agree with that.
Mhm.
Just don't
Yeah.
overstep and don't over flirt.
Mhm.
We good.
Right. Yeah. 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 It's all about communication, and like you said, just that respect factor. So.
And as long as you're making sure that you're overly, honestly, overly communicating that to your wife. Because if all of a sudden you're
Mhm.
out there, giving compliments to strangers all the time, and you don't compliment your wife or your
Oh.
significant other, that's the issue. So
Yeah, that is an issue.
the house comes home. You got to take care of the house first. So
Right. Yeah, for sure. It'd be like, wait a minute, you didn't say that to me this morning.
right, man,
You
I just got
just
my nails done. What do you down, man?
right. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
That could be an issue as well. But there was another thing too.
mm,
There was this guy, and he asked his grandfather, and he was like, "Why are all women gold diggers?" And it was like, "Ooh." And his grandfather was like, women aren't gold diggers. He was like, women are just naturally expensive. So you got to find one in your price range and, pretty much keep it moving and go from there." So it was funny when I heard it because I'm like, oh, wow. It was a couple of things that hit me. One, the naturally expensive, because I think that could go both ways for a male or a female, when it comes to expensive part, because, you have males out here too who do all the same grooming that, some females might partake in. Then you have other females who don't do all of that grooming. They don't go get the nails done or the hair done or, what I'm saying, the eyelashes, all that. Or they might do it themselves. And so that way they're not going out there and spending all that,
hey, that's that
extra
price
funds.
tag. So
Right.
so,
Yeah, but that's what came from. Like the funny part was he was like, you just gotta find one pretty much in your tax bracket. And I thought that was hilarious. But I mean, that's some truth to it. You know what I'm saying? You just can't be going out there and a woman is accustomed to a certain lifestyle and you think like, oh yeah, like that's the one. Like I'll be able to keep up with that because that's definitely gonna cause issues. I mean, finances are like I don't know if it's still the number one reason of breakups and everything, but it's definitely up there. So it's like, ooh, when he said it, it kind of stung like, you know what I'm saying, being a female, but I get it though. I get it. So,
Yeah, I mean that's to me. I don't say it's 100% true, but
mhm,
I get it too.
mhm,
Because you gotta you gotta you gotta make sure you're in the right tax bracket. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, if because you talk about, I know there's in business you talk about fake it till you make it,
mhm,
but in reality, you can't fake it if she's used to. I was listening to this podcast, this one thing, this audio about this guy who spends tons of money on a woman. You
mhm,
know, he has he's a multi millionaire,
mhm,
and he flies her out
mhm,
in private jets, takes her to expensive islands, and buys her all this stuff and all this everything like that. And he's like, I'm gonna take care of her I'm gonna take care of as much as I can.
mhm,
I'll buy her anything she wants, everything she wants, as long as she, treats me right. Like the
mhm.
moment she steps out of line, and when I say and he kind of, this is me paraphrasing, but when he says
Yeah.
the moment like she steps out of line, meaning the moment that she betrays him, you
Mhm,
know, it all stops. But
mhm.
until then, you know, hey, I'm gonna do whatever I want to do to make me happy.
Yeah.
And if I see
Yeah.
that she's happy by me spending all this
Mhm,
money on her, that makes
mhm,
me happy. And
mhm.
so I look at it, and he can afford it.
Right.
So someone else that's, on an hourly wage, he may not want to pursue that
Mhm.
person
Yeah.
because, he can't afford it at the moment. But
Mhm.
then, to date, I always talk about, you always hear the joke about dating outside of your league. Like, man,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
dated up.
Right. Right.
And
Right.
feel that I dated up. You know, yeah, you know what I'm saying, whatever you call it.
Mhm.
But you gotta, you don't like, I mean, think about where you meet the person too.
Yeah.
If you meet
That's
them
true.
at, at Starbucks, well,
Mhm. But I
or
mean, Starbucks could get pricey too, especially if you go in there every day
that's what I'm about to say.
buying them drinks.
Yeah, I was there one day, and someone was like, "Hey, so and so." They know him by name, and then they're like, "Are you the usual?" And I'm like, "Dude, that's like a everyday thing." And them drinks, they could vary from $5 to like $10. So that's
Mhm.
a couple $100 a month,
That,
just on
that
coffee.
that's like our brother Doc. He has
Yeah.
a he pays like a monthly prescription like for drinks or whatever at this one particular restaurant, and not like alcoholic drinks, but just
That,
cold.
you see that?
Oh yeah, that's they probably thought
Oh,
I was
that
saying
was from
thumbs
you?
up.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They probably he just has cold beverages or whatever. But
Yeah.
it's funny because what I'm saying, he goes in there almost every day, goes gets his drink. They know him by name or whatever, and he frequents so much that he's like, no, I'm just gonna get this little monthly membership where I'll pay for it. So, but yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. It
No,
just
no,
made me
it's
think
just,
about that.
no, that's true. I mean, versus if you meet someone at a rinky-dink bowling alley, or if you meet someone at, like I said, I just, I was just in Vegas.
Hmm.
And so if you meet someone at one of those five-star hotels at
Yeah.
this, club where it's $100 to get in, and you
Hmm.
meet someone, then you kind of have an idea as to who's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
I tend to agree. And of
Hmm.
course, more to it than just money per se. Of course, personality and all this stuff, but you gotta you gotta make sure you can, because like money is one of the top three topics of discussion and reasons for breakups or makeups. It's
Hmm.
that's up there.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know if I would have. When I heard that, it's like whoa. You
Right.
know, but
Because one, I mean, just because a woman is accustomed to a certain lifestyle doesn't mean that she needs that man to provide that for her.
true that.
So that's different. And I'm talking about just dating wise, because I mean, once you're married, that kind of tinkers onto something else, of how you combine finances. But as far as dating, it's not an automatic like, okay, now this is all on you. Now you're responsible for taking care of all these things. Now, if a guy is like, no, this is what I want to do, you know what I'm saying? That's a different story. But I don't think it's anything that's obligated or mandatory. But it's always nice. I mean, that's a love language, you know what I'm saying? Acts of service. So yeah, it's,
Yeah, as long
cool.
as
But
yeah, I mean, I'm cool with
mhm.
splurging if you can, and
Yeah,
if
right.
to treat to do whatever you can,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
you hear that phrase happy wife,
Happy
happy
wife,
life,
happy
whatever,
life.
you hear
Uh-huh.
that. So you want to make her happy, and
Hmm.
of course materialistic things aren't everything,
Hmm.
but if you it's the thought, and it's whatever, and like you said, women can take care of themselves. They can buy
Hmm.
whatever they want to
Hmm.
buy. So it's kind of like, you know they don't, when you come into a relationship, they don't. A lot of women, because they're so you know prolific in their occupation, everything like that. They don't need it,
Right.
but like you said, like, it's a love language. So if
Yeah,
you
it'll be
can,
appreciated.
yeah, if you can, definitely
Hmm.
do so.
Right.
But you have to be aware of, are you going to
Right. Like
uh
don't not pay your rent or
right?
your
Are you going to,
mortgage trying to
you
take
going
care
to
of somebody.
you going to K Jewelers, or are you going to the the thrift store to get, you know
Yeah.
just, you don't want to be broke, because if you're broke now, there's a legitimate reason that they're gonna may walk away. So like I said, if you spend
Facts.
your rent money,
Facts.
first of all, well, never mind, I ain't gonna go there.
Look, look, whatever you did to get her, just continue to do it to keep her, because
That's
she will be
hey,
accustomed to whatever
right.
that
So don't
lifestyle is.
right, don't do it all up front, because then you're like, damn, what I got left. Kind of
Exactly.
ease. Don't do like an airplane where you take off like that. You gotta kind of
Right.
ease into it. You know what I'm saying? Because if you give everything day one, then that's the expectation,
Hmm.
and that's your
Hmm.
fault. It had nothing to do with
Yeah.
her. That's your fault.
Right.
If if you give her the world on day one, and you can't
Hmm.
afford the universe on day two,
Right.
mm, that was a good
Yeah.
one. Right?
Look at you, look
No,
at you. Let me drink to that one because I heard what you said.
you heard what I said. You
Okay,
heard
well
what
look,
I said.
this was a short and easy one. Just a couple of things that we had found on social media that we wanted to share our thoughts on.
How can the world reach you on social media?
Look, y'all can reach me at Precious Said 888. I'm all about that abundance over here. So yeah, I'll let your girl. Hello. How about you, Keon? How can they reach you?
Keon said 37 is how I can be reached.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And follow me on TikTok, y'all. I ain't got no followers on there. I know I'm new. I just started, but yeah, follow me on TikTok as well. TikTok and Instagram. So yeah. Okay. All righty. Until next time, we will see you guys later. Bye.
All right. Do y'all have pictures on the machine?
Yeah, they do have
Okay.
pictures, but they don't always,
Damn
what
it.
I'm saying? It's like I will look because I'm like, okay, I see where it pretty much just says start at this position, end at that position, and then
Yeah,
it'll
yeah.
tell you like what muscles it works. But
You
yeah.
you said, oh, you don't want to put your face where someone's butt's supposed to be at.
Cause you see those
That's not
videos
smell
where
right.
they like tapping you like, excuse me. That's what I be
Yeah.
like worried about.
Hey, remember how we borrowed Dad's car, and we always had to put gas in the shit? Yeah. I got in my car the other day. That shit said low. It spelled it out for me.